I would play volleyball year-round really competitively, and I was a sophomore at Ponderosa High School and really enjoyed school and friends and just spending time with my family. One day at practice I had served a volleyball and it popped, and it wasn't normal, and so it was getting worse. So I decided to take some time off, which I never had before, and it still kept getting worse and worse despite the rest, and so that's when I knew something wasn't right.
It was just floored because in 3 weeks she was going to turn 16, she was going to get her driver's license, she was going into her junior year of high school and already talking about colleges, and then the thought that very real possibility that you might lose your daughter.
It was pretty shocking when they said that I had a tumor. I actually fainted.
We went to the typical hospital, you know, and they say, oh, we'll put you on this protocol, we'll treat your daughter this way. After so many courses of chemo, we hope that the tumor's dead, and then we operate, and then we find out, and if we didn't guess quite right, then, you know, her survival rate will drop way down.
So it was definitely a scary thing, and I had actually started out at another hospital and switched over to Dr. Wilkins and his team because of what they do. Hi, my name's Chelsea Safkin, and I'm an osteosarcoma survivor.
The Limb Preservation Foundation was actually founded back in 1986.
For individuals who are in risk of losing their limbs or their lives because of extremity conditions resulting of infection, cancer, or trauma.
They're a friendly voice at the other end of the telephone, a supportive voice at the other end of the telephone, and certainly a friendly face at the end of the hall here that patients can go visit with. So when they're desperate, when their family members are desperate, they don't know where to turn, the Limb Preservation Foundation team really comes through.
And the energy that the foundation itself has, everybody who's supporting the foundation, it's incredible.
Presbyterian St. Luke's Hospital has a very unique approach to their cancer treatment, where they get a team together with an oncologist, and mine was Dr. Odom, and then the surgeon, and then a radiologist as well. And they work as a team to diagnose and make sure that the chemo's going through smoothly, and they're just a great group of people, and their team approach is great because they're willing to work together and find the best treatment and best case scenario for every patient.
I think it's beneficial to look at the same problem from different angles. So in our team we have surgeons, we have plastic surgeons, orthopedic surgeons, medical oncologists, radiation oncologists, pathologists.
These people and these families that are so bowled over by this news, and you can imagine having to tell parents their child has cancer and that they're, not only is their limb at risk, but their life's at risk. And when I started this business a few years ago, 30 years ago, you would make the diagnosis and then do an immediate amputation and wait for these kids to die. 90% of them died. And now over 90% of those kids are survivors, and over 95% keep their limbs.
The partnership between the Limb Preservation Foundation and the Animal Cancer Center has been going strong for many, many years. And it's a very unique link, really focused on how we can partner together in the discovery of new cures for cancer, especially those things that affect the limbs of patients, both dog patients or cat patients as well as human patients.
As it turns out, dogs and kids have the same cancer in their bones.
Oh, you look so good. You look so good.
Discoveries we make in our animal patients, our clinical animal patients, are applicable to human patients and vice versa.
Oh, I love that there.
Today is one of my favorite days. We're shooting the calendar.
Excellent, excellent.
It's a unique relationship because the dogs have gone through what the people have, and we learned so much from the two of them.
So Cletus has lymphoma, which is a cancer of the lymph nodes, and he's participating in a clinical trial for a novel drug that will hopefully treat his cancer. He received his first treatment today, and he's doing great.
The things we're doing now and the things we're starting to understand, it's really going to be a miraculous future.
Because of Dr. Wilkins and their team, they were able to monitor the tumor size. They were able to see how much it would die, which is completely revolutionary.
By the partnership, we've really been able to advance new treatments in both worlds, both the animal world and in the human world. And that's been through really the funding of research as well as the vision to develop a chair, a university chair position. That person will be uniquely tasked with using research that's developed both here and elsewhere in the world at forwarding treatments for people and for animals that have limbs at risk from cancer or infection.
It became evident that the patients not only needed clinical care, but they needed support. And that can be in the form of simple things like food, money for transportation. We give out scholarships for students that have had limbs at risk.
They've been a huge part of my life. They've helped give me a college scholarship so I could further my education after I graduated. I'm just so thankful for them. They're a great group of people, and what they do really matters.
You know that people care about you while you're going through it.
The people who do the clinical work in the foundation, it really is a family. And the patients, they become part of the family. You know, I'm humbled because these kids and families really go through a lot. And I think it makes all of us that are involved much stronger.
I am now 7 years cancer-free, and I just gave birth to a baby boy, and he's just the light of my life. He's such a blessing.
What are you doing?
I will not stop until we find the cure. I won't stop until we know the reasons that animals get cancer, the reasons that people get cancer, and the ways in which we can battle it more effectively.
To have that multidisciplinary approach to patient care, a willingness to be involved in complicated cases and patient care in that regard, it's a luxury and not something that exists in many other locations in this country or in the world for that matter.
Can you smile?
Just so blessed that I have both of my arms and I can wrap both my arms around my son and hold him, and I just honestly have this Dr. Wilkins to thank for that.
I would hope that there are no people that have to undergo an unnecessary amputation. I would hope that with education we prevent, a lot of traumatic amputations, accidental amputations. I would hope that people don't have to go through the ravages of the treatment that we have now, that we can make it better, less toxic, less severe, and that we can improve the surgical end of things. It's a great journey, but we've got a lot more to do.
I just want to say thank you, because you don't realize how much of an impact it makes on each individual. There are so many people that are struggling, and just the little things that they can do help lift the burden off so much. It really changes people's lives.